attacker was a woman.
It's hard to
Hey guys. Alright, so I'm gonna do the
was your husband seeing another woman?
video for this real quick.
It's necessary. Yes, it is. Can you tell us where you were the night he died? It's at the club. And where did you go after the club?
I have pancakes going. Yeah, I make pancakes. I've got SVU on because Scott's outside working on the area for the off-grid stove. We're gonna move it from out there to over here. Alright. So, how to make a drinkable water out of air. Material cost is $129.27, so basically $130. Leaning toward more easy, out of easy and difficulty. Or out of easy and difficult, it leans more towards easy. About 50 minutes to put together. Alright, here we go. Water is such a critical resource that human beings are hard-pressed to survive more than 3 days without it. Storing water is vital to our long-term survival, and we should all have significant water stores. However, we also need to have other freshwater sources to round out our water preps. A creek, a lake, natural spring is ideal, but with a few easily obtained items, you can also extract fresh water from the air. The humidity in the air around us is fresh water waiting for us to extract it. To do this, we are going to use an average household dehumidifier and a water filter. The dehumidifier fan pulls air into the unit and covers coils that cool the air. The result is that the water in the air condenses on the coils, forming water droplets. These drops of water are collected and cool, dry air blows out of the dehumidifier. These drops of water collect in a tank that we empty when full. Dehumidifiers are available in several sizes, from small tabletop units to larger ones requiring wheels to move them around. When selecting a dehumidifier, our first consideration needs to be the power requirements to run them. Making drinkable water out of air in an SHTF or grid down scenario only works if you have an excess supply of electricity to power them. Might be a problem. Consider using several smaller dehumidifiers rather than just a large one for this project. The reason for this is twofold. A smaller unit draws less power, and with several of them in operation, you can decide which unit to power on and which to turn off depending on available power. Another advantage to using several smaller units is they often run on 12 volts of electricity. These units get electricity through a transformer plug that steps down the 120 volts of AC power from the wall outlet to 12 volts of DC power. If you are running your home on 12 volts DC power, you could, with a little ingenuity, power these units straight from your battery bank. Hold on, guys. Alright. A major benefit of this project is that the machine constantly runs and draws water from the air without any input or effort from yourself. The device will work for you 24 hours a day as long as it has power and the air is humid. The largest issue with devices like this is that they require electricity to operate. In an SHTF or grid down situation, electricity will be an invaluable resource. As I stated before, it is a good idea to consider using several smaller units instead of one large unit. The volume of water that these units produce versus the power you need to provide them may not make sense for your home during a grid down scenario. However, if you find yourself with excess capacity in your power system, then this project may be worthwhile to have running and to top up your water stores. The final drawback is that its operation is very dependent on the weather and the levels of humidity in the air. I think my tongue is rubbing up against a spot in my mouth. If you live in a moist environment, then these units will work quite well, but if you live in a desert environment, then the amount of produced water will be significantly less. Also, the changing of the seasons will affect the amount of water these units produce. In the drier months, the level of water production will be noticeably less. Safety of dehumidifier water. Water from a dehumidifier is not ready for humans' consumption. Since dehumidifiers pull water out of the air, any mold, viruses, bacteria, or other contaminants can tag along with the water drops. While the water in the tank seems essentially the same as distilled water, since the water was not exposed to heat high enough to kill pathogens, we must filter the water before drinking. Choosing a filter. There are many filters available on the market, but the filter we need for this build needs to filter water without a pump or suction. We want gravity to pull water down through the filter and into whichever container we will store it in. Any filter that can adequately filter water, rendering it safe to drink out in the bush, will work well. If the filter you use does not filter viruses, and this is a concern for you, you should boil the water after filtering as an added precaution. Building your project. Okay, and here's where this starts. The construction of this project is very simple and requires only a couple of easily obtained materials. Tools: a saw, cordless drill with bits and drivers, a sharp knife. Materials: dehumidifier, which I bought off Amazon for $40. Water filters. That's the humidifier. This is the water filter. Water filters like these filters I found on Amazon for $25, $24.95. A water jerry, which I bought off Amazon for $31.65 and holds 7 gallons. Right there. 3/4 inch PVC pipe is available at Home Depot for $1.60 for 24-inch length. Right there. 3/4 inch PVC 90-degree elbows are found at Home Depot for 59 cents each. Right there. My hand out of the way. 8 1-inch screws are found at Home Depot for what does it say? Number 8. I'm sorry. Number 8 1-inch screws are found at Home Depot for $5.28 for a pack of 100. Now, this book was written a few years ago, so probably a little bit more than that now. And there's the screw. Metal strapping can be found at Home Depot for $16.58 for a 100-foot roll. Again, this was written a few years ago, so probably a little bit more. 1x6 lumber is found at Home Depot for $8.04 for a 6-foot bore. Again, probably more now. Right there. Instructions. Remove the tank from the dehumidifier and locate the port where the water flows into the tank. Most of these units have a switch that turns the unit off when the tank is full. The switch may need to be deactivated or avoided altogether. Sorry. To allow your build to work properly. Number 2, cut a piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe that is long enough to get water from the dehumidifier to a position above the jerry can or tank that the water will end up in. Number 3, attach. Okay, this is number 1. There. And that's the shutoff they're talking about. Number 2. Number 3, attach a 90-degree elbow to each end of the 3/4 inch PVC pipe, right there. Number 4, secure a length of 3/4 inch PVC pipe long enough to reach the jerry can or water tank below. So that's number 4. Number 5, align the open elbow to the water discharge port on the dehumidifier. You will probably have to fashion a device to hold this pipe straight and in position so that the water flows out of the dehumidifier and through the PVC piping. In my case, I used some metal strapping and a scrap piece of 1x6 lumber to secure and lift the pipe, aligning it with the port. There. Number 6, I had to use a couple of small screws as leveling feet so that my pipe holder did not rock in the dehumidifier. That's number 6, and they numbered it wrong. Number 7, for my filter assembly, I cut the bottom off a 1-liter water bottle. Oh, that is... Okay, both of these are number 6, so that's number 7. 8, then I screwed it onto my Sawyer mini filter, creating the filter assembly. So that's 8. Number 9, I then placed the filter assembly into the mouth of my water jerry can and activated the machine. So that's number 9. There. My test run. I set one of these units up in my garage and let it run for over 24 hours, producing about 1/4 of a liter of clean filtered water. The problem is that the weather was fairly dry, so there was not a lot of humidity to work with. Had I placed the device outdoors in a room that sees higher humidity, such as a bathroom, I would expect the device to work more effectively. Or in a greenhouse. I taste tested the water and found it to have virtually no taste whatsoever. This project is an effective way of pulling water from the air we breathe, but suffers the significant drawbacks of requiring electricity to operate and depending on weather conditions. In no way should these devices be counted on as your sole water source, but you can find a place for one supplementing your water stores. Okay. So, can't count on it to make all your water, but it's something that could help. So, I'm going to go ahead and get off from here. I will definitely upload this today. I don't know. I might try to upload it now. Anyway, I'm going to get off from here. Keep an eye on your subscriptions. Welcome new subscribers. Please leave a comment and let me know if you are interested in a new subscriber package, which is... And of course, I don't have my t-shirt handy. A Faith First Farm and Homestead t-shirt, hand-painted, and I'm using one of mine for pens, but a glass Faith First, hand-painted Faith First Farm and Homestead glass mug. If you would like to purchase the mug, they're $5, but if you would like a new subscriber package, they're free. The t-shirts will be extra large. I do have some large ones. I have to get some more painting done. I just have a lot to do. A lot outside, a lot we're trying to get done. Still have a greenhouse to build. But just let me know if you want a new subscriber package. And if you need a specific size, obviously just let me know. If large or extra large won't work. And if you want a specific color, let me know. And I will get back with you. Just leave a comment and let me know. Keep an eye on your subscriptions. Make sure you're still subscribed. Click on the notification bell and click on all to make sure you get all the notifications. Do your research. It's really important. This is research. Get hard copies of everything. Books. Homesteading books. Amazon is great. I'm going to start doing my pins from Pinterest. Pinterest is another great place. Get on Pinterest. Start writing stuff down. Write, or type and print, something. Or get a typewriter. Type stuff out. Whatever. Just get it on paper, okay? Books, whatever. Because you're going to need it. And get your homesteads going, get your gardens going. Do that research and get your home ready for off-grid. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.